Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Bad Girl Boogey, a movie about a. It's basically a slasher movie, but it's got a lot of what appears to be um, gay identity politics into it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Link in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, there's a killer with this mask. And the deal with the story is anybody who puts on the mask becomes the killer. So it's a little bit like an evil version of The Mask. Only they don't get superpowers, they just murder people. Now, I'm not a big fan of slasher movies, as you know. But as far as slasher movie concepts go, that's solid enough. You could do something with that. But here's the weird thing. It says a transgender and queer film by Alice Mao Mackey. Like, what does that have to do? What does that concept have to do with anything? Just not seeing it. I mean, I get it. It's the gay community in there, in the mix. Maybe that's the victims of the killer. But I'm not so sure. Two things. Number one, from the standpoint of a horror movie, why focus on that? That's not like a horror thing. Something happens in the gay community, people don't instantly go, "Well, that'll make a good horror movie." They don't make that association. And on the other end of the spectrum, like, you don't want that association with that. You don't want this creepiness associated with that community. I would think. This isn't a positive movie, so I'm not saying it shouldn't be in the movie. I'm just saying I don't understand why they make it part of the focus of the trailer. It's not a selling point. The purpose of the trailer is to sell people on the movie. And you have young people, you have a crazy killer on the loose. That's basically all you need for one of these movies. That's it. That's it. Young people and a murderous villain. The character looks iconic enough. I'm sure the body count will go through the roof. First act, there appears to be some history to it. Also good. One of the characters' mothers was either a victim or the killer. I kind of can't tell. I think she was a victim. And then the girl also says something like her mother was gay. Okay, not sure how that all worked out with you, but fine, possible. But again, it doesn't seem like it has any, bearing on whether or not there's a terrible murder around. Anyhow, the murders happened in the past. Now the murders are happening again. That's kind of the first act, and I guess you're seeing people picking up the mask and killing people. Somebody finds it somewhere after many years and starts going on a string of murders, but then a murderer is killed, but somebody touches the mask, I guess, and ends up putting it on, and then they become the murderer. But then there's a line in the movie that kind of undermines that whole concept. It says, the mask doesn't make you kill, it's worse. It frees you. So that begs the question, are you saying that everybody deep down is a murdering psychopath? If only they had something to trigger that, they'd just start killing people. Seems like a weird argument, but there's that whole idea of everybody's got darkness in their soul kind of thing. Sure, you can make an argument for that, but why throw in the identity stuff? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't sell the movie. seems like it would kind of denigrate the community. You'd want to make them heroic in this movie. They would be. It appears to be like they're the victims of the killer, and then some of the community band together to stop him, which would be heroic. So I'm not sure what the plan was, but it's a weird trailer. It's a weird woke trailer, I would say. Again, this is part of the problem with the woke. They insert it in everything, expecting everybody to go, "Oh, good," and it just doesn't work. People aren't going to go see this because there are gay people in it, and it's a gay community thing. In fact, it's much more likely, because it is woke, that the few people who do see it will complain about it and then keep people away from seeing it. So it's a dumb idea to promote it that way. It doesn't matter if the person who makes a horror movie is gay or trans or whatever. It only matters, is the movie good? That's it. You have what appears to be a solid enough concept. Movie production's okay. It's kind of like right on the bubble. Solid enough that I would say okay. Not spectacular, but solid. You've got a cast that seems fine. And, no real standouts that I can see, and you've got an iconic killer, which is what you want for the modern slasher movies. Even if you're like, this is kind of borrowing from Jason a little bit, but I mean, a lot of slasher movies have that scene. So I say, don't put this stuff in your movies, or at least don't put it in the trailer. It's not a selling point. It's not about that. It's about the horror. It's about scares. No one wants to have a lecture in the middle of a movie. Whether it's a comedy, whether it's horror, here's someone different wearing the mask there. No matter what it is, nobody wants a lecture about identity politics. Even in a movie, a documentary about identity politics, a lecture about identity politics is boring. This is supposed to be entertainment. So stop foisting this on people. All right, let's read the write-up. Halloween blood is shed by the wearer of a parasitic mask cursed with black magic and bigotry. Oh, okay. So there's bigotry woven into the black magic. Okay. And Angel's friend is killed by a person wearing the same mask. They must overcome their struggles, fight, fear, find the killer before he slaughters everyone. So the killer is a bigot, and that I'm not. That doesn't scan. What? I mean, I guess you can argue it's a new angle. I don't think that's gonna work. So, will there be a scene in a movie where the masked killer goes, "Oh well, you're straight. I guess I'll leave you alone"? Like, is that gonna happen? I don't know. That seems weird. Yeah, would I see this movie? It's not. Typically, I don't see slasher movies, so probably not. But because this one is seemingly so full of identity politics, if it came on a video on demand thing, I might see it just to see how far they try to take that. But I gotta think this will be a huge detriment to the viewers. The movie will grind to a halt every time you start talking about identity politics. And I'm not really sure how that can be woven into black magic. Black magic, typically in a movie, is something that's fairly ancient. Like the mask in The Mask was very ancient. Um, when you talk about witches, you at least have to go back to, like, I don't know, the 1600s before it starts to sort of lend itself to be old enough to have some credibility. Once you get into later eras, then it gets less and less effective. Ancient unknown forces tend to work. So you're talking about somebody who's harbored bigotry. I don't know how you're going to sell that as an ancient concept against gay people. It's really going to be a tough sell, I think. Anyhow, it's called Bad Girl Boogey. If you want to see it, I'm not sure when it's coming out. They don't have a date here. But it's not a bad. This is a first-time movie. It's, in terms of the look and the production, it's not bad. I just wish it hadn't gotten bogged down in all, id politics. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say, take it. I'll be doing Hollywoke Hot Take and News Blast today. Check me out at the Philly show, the Philadelphia Comic Con at Essington, PA, at the Clarion over there, on Sunday from 10 to 4. We'll also be doing the live stream, the Father's Day live stream, also on Sunday. We'll see you then, and we'll see you in the next one.